Every business knows that true success comes from strong connections built and established over time. Whether it's a connection between you and your business partners or your company and your consumers. At Eastern Communications, we believe in a strong and personal connection. In prioritizing both our high-tech and our high-touch solutions, we bring back the human connection in the ever-expanding industry of information and communications technology. In doing so, we've amassed a wide array of various solutions designed to not only improve our clients' businesses, but to also create seamless experiences for their own customers. This is why customized solutions and strong connections matter so much to us. Keep your company files safe and secure through data centers and cloud services that allow easy access for your employees and are scalable to match the needs of your business. We understand just how important proper collaboration and communication are to the success of a business, which is why we can offer your company the proper tools needed to enhance collaboration efficiency, all while maintaining an agile and flexible network that is scalable to the size of your company. These collaboration tools are key to developing your business's continuity and are easily accessible at any time and from any device, all while maintaining the security your company needs. Speaking of security, no matter what stage of a cyber attack you are in, Eastern Communications will always ensure that your company is prepared with the help of the Cyber Defense Suite. From before the attack happens, during the time it's in progress, and even after it begins to damage systems and steal information, Eastern Communications is equipped with products and services for every phase. Eastern also provides relevant managed services that suit your company's needs. That way, you can better focus on running your business and leave the technical aspect up to us. Of course, every business needs reliable connectivity in order to maintain its day-to-day processes. Our world-class data services ensure the smoothest flow of data and information for your company. Together, we can help you create personalized networks that are well-suited for your company's specific needs, containing all of the benefits with none of the hassle. If it's internet you need, Eastern Communications Internet Services can provide your company with fast connections and high bandwidth availabilities. This way, you have access to flexible speeds and stronger connections to the internet. Lastly, we want to help you establish your own strong connections with your company's partners and customers. Eastern's voice services offers seamless solutions for your customer service needs and easily connects you to your customers. These are only some of the many solutions and services that Eastern Communications has established over the years for our many partners. And while we still have a long way to go, you can be sure that Eastern Communications will continue to be your partner and take you from where you are now to where you want to go. Together, we can all finish strong for our tomorrow. These days, a lot of companies are changing their business model and shifting to digital in order to keep up with the new normal. With this shift comes a new dynamic threat landscape that some companies aren't equipped to handle. Companies need a strong defense system in place in order to keep confidential files and data safe. The proper defense against these threats requires control across all phases of a cyber attack. From before the attack happens, during the time it's in progress, and even after it begins to damage systems and steal information. This is why Eastern Communications has ideal high-tech and high-touch products designed for every stage of the attack continuum, ensuring that your company has only the best in cybersecurity. Before an attack even takes place, your company needs products that discover cyber threats, enforce a strong defense system, and harden that protection so that the threats don't break through. First, secure a next-generation firewall. This will filter network traffic to protect an organization from external threats. They also possess deeper inspection capabilities that give them a superior ability to identify attacks, malware, and other threats. Eastern's next-gen firewall continually evolves. Not only does it block malware, but it also includes paths for future updates, ensuring it is flexible enough to evolve with the landscape and keep the network secure as new threats arise. It is also equipped with a virtual private network, so that your employees can securely send and receive data in the company network. Now let's take a look at the solutions that can come into play during the time a cyber attack is in progress. Distributed denial of service is a specific type of cyber attack that disrupts normal traffic to targeted critical business applications and services, leading to angry customers and potential brand damage. Eastern's DDoS protection is capable of mitigating any type of attack on any website and is fully managed by a responsive, round-the-clock operations team, ensuring every real web visitor is never denied service. Another product is a web application firewall which can help defend your company from malicious web traffic. Unlike regular firewalls, a WAF filters the content of specific web applications to catch harmful web traffic that other security measures might miss. Lastly, we have endpoint security solutions. During a cyber attack, these protect end-user devices such as company laptops, desktops, and mobile devices from being exploited by malware or other kinds of cybersecurity threats. Finally, to ensure maximum protection, let's look into the solutions your company needs after a cyber attack has begun damaging your network or stealing your information. First, you will require a managed security operations center, which provides 24/7 security monitoring as well as access to a shared team of fully trained cybersecurity professionals. To round off your company's impenetrable defenses, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing are crucial. These are security testing services your company can benefit from after a cyber attack. These testing systems focus on identifying vulnerabilities in your company's server and network infrastructure. Afterwards, it gives your organization a detailed view of potential threats, enabling your company to adapt and better prepare your defenses for future attacks. As your company makes the transition to more and more digital services and protocols, take that extra measure to protect your organization from outside threats. It's important to keep your company's network and data secure through every phase of a cyber attack. In the new normal of business in the digital landscape, let Eastern Communications provide your company with the cybersecurity it needs to stay safe and have a strong tomorrow. Emergency situations and global crises has had a profound influence on how people live and work, with many employers adapting remote work arrangements. Aside from a stable internet connection and the right productivity tools, companies and employees must ensure that their devices and data can be securely accessed, as if they were still in the office. Which is why Eastern Communications presents the Eastern Teleworker Gateway. Eastern Teleworker Gateway is an enterprise-class firewall, virtual private network gateway, and router. Each model is designed to securely extend cloud-managed networking for employees, IT staff, and executives working remotely. It allows administrators to deploy network services including voice-over internet protocol and remote endpoints with automatic zero-touch provisioning. Additionally, it provides wired and wireless access and increases end-user productivity, creating a secure and worry-free internet connection for your employees. Eastern Teleworker Gateway makes it easy to extend your company's corporate local area network to remote sites across the country, without requiring your employees and devices to install VPN software. Eastern Teleworker Gateway also enables traffic shaping, allowing you to regulate network data transfer, ensuring important applications and traffic are prioritized. So what does this mean for your employees and staff who are working remotely? It's easy to set up. Creating a new remote site is as simple as adding a remote network in your company's user dashboard. Once you've keyed in the access points and SSIDs of your employees, everyone automatically has access to your company's secure network. Eastern Teleworker Gateway also provides secure access to your company's main network from anywhere, with remote access points automatically establishing a secure connection to the company head office. This allows effective forklifting of your office to your employees' homes. It lets your company stay connected with voice and data by granting administrators the capability to monitor and manage the entire remote office infrastructure through a private company telephone network. Finally, with centralized management, problems can be diagnosed remotely using built-in real-time diagnostic tools. Even small-scale IT staff can be empowered to manage large distributed networks via the internet from anywhere. Eastern Teleworker Gateway is the ideal solution for teleworkers based at home, small branch offices, temporary sites like events and conferences, and your employees in the field. This ensures that your employees and executives have the same in-office network experience while working remotely. This is just one of many solutions that Eastern Communications can provide your company in order to maintain your strong connection, not just for your customers but for your employees as well. With Eastern Teleworker Gateway, we can help your company move towards our strong tomorrow.
All right, it looks like we are just about ready to begin. A good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for waiting. And to everyone here, business owners, guests, and speakers, good afternoon. And welcome to Eastern Communications E-Huddle. This series is called Inspire Fearless Transformation. My name is Carla Barreto, and I'm your host and moderator for this series. And it's so great to have you all here. And we're so excited because in today's session, we've got another set of speakers with us who are going to be sharing their insights on the now normal, as we call it, and how exactly we can apply these insights to our specific businesses and our specific professional lives. So, like I said, we're so excited to begin. So we're just gonna hit the ground running here. So here to welcome us as we take these steps to the now normal. Before it was new normal, now it's now normal. A lot of new terms in the mix. But here to welcome us is Eastern Communications Cluster Head of BPO, ICT, and Software Development. Let's welcome Miss Lenny Panado.
Thank you, Carla, for the introduction. Good afternoon to everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. We are grateful that you took the time off of your busy schedule to be with us today. The events of the past year had rendered businesses helpless with the coronavirus. As we start picking up the pieces, we want to veer away from the confusion and focus on keeping our businesses alive. This pandemic time called us for speed up our digital transformation journey to survive and thrive away past a post-pandemic scenario. To keep our businesses on track despite our now you open, now you close economy, be able to rebound and better adapt to the shifts in the ways of doing business. Eastern Communication continues to hold Eastern E-Huddle webinar series to keep our clientele updated with insights, custom service model fits, and emerging technology trends that could help rejuvenate enterprises on their business resurgence and digital transformation journey. It is our company's belief that in coming together, we will be able to survive this crisis. We hope that you will be inspired by today's session and be moved to keep on keeping on. Once again, welcome and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Keep on keeping on. Thank you, Miss Lenny. That is indeed the spirit. So thank you for starting us off with that warm welcome. And like I said, we're just gonna go and keep the ball rolling here. So let me introduce you to our first speaker of the day, shall we? Our keynote speaker has 30 years of work experience with exposure spanning across IT consulting and outsourcing, manufacturing, commodities trading, and port operations. He is currently the president and CEO of the IT Business Process Association of the Philippines, also known as IBPAP, an enabling organization for the IT BPM sector, which is one of the Philippines' fastest growing industries. Prior to this role, he had a 2-decade career with Accenture where he contributed significantly to the aggressive growth of the Philippine location. As the managing director and industry group lead for the communications, media and entertainment, and high technology portfolio in the Philippine Delivery Center, he oversaw a growing delivery portfolio of global and local clients. He started off as an experienced hire within Anderson Consulting and successfully delivered transformational engagements for various clients, which included a 3-year expatriate assignment in Australia and Singapore. Let's welcome on screen the President and CEO of the IT Business Process Association of the Philippines, or IBPAP, Mr. Ray Untal.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you as well, Lenny. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me here today. Firstly, I'd like to thank Eastern Tech Communications for inviting us here today to share our thoughts with regards to the IT BPM industry in this fourth installment of the E-Huddle Fearless Transformation Series. Now, it is always an honor to represent the Philippine IT BPM sector in engagements like this where we can directly address our various stakeholders and industry allies and discuss on the ground realities of the industry. Now, I do have a number of items to cover as IBPAP just recently came out with the sector's 2020 performance. And we also have quite a few updates on a number of our legislative efforts, vaccine procurement and rollout, and of course, talent attraction as well as development. Now, I hope to likewise be able to share with the group what our mid to long term plans are to help ensure our sustained growth. We can move on to the first slide, please. Now, the past year has been, without question, a period of unprecedented disruption and incredible change for many, with practically all industries trying to cope with the aftermath of the pandemic and the world's economy contracting by as much as 3.5%. Now, against those odds, the overall narrative of the IT BPM sector continues to be one of ability, leadership, and innovation. And this was demonstrated in the industry's headcount and revenue growth in the past year, both on the global and local fronts. Now, as you can see on this slide, globally, the IT BPM sector, in fact, grew by as much as 2 to 3%. And similarly, the industry displayed comparable growth locally. Despite the Philippine economy contracting by as much as 9.5%, the number of employees in the country increased by a little more than 20,000 in 2020, bringing the sector's overall headcount to north of 1.3 million and effectively registering a growth of close to 2% compared to the prior year. Now, revenue increased twice to 26.7 billion in 2020, or a 1.4% jump from the previous year. Now, just looking back, not too long ago, midway through 2020 at the height of the pandemic, we already knew that the impact of the health crisis wasn't going to spare the IT BPM sector. But the fact that it reached this level of growth that we are reporting today, I think is proof that the industry's resilience and correspondingly how we play a very fundamental role in the Philippine economy. Now, obviously, there were a few subsectors, industries that we support that were hard hit, like hospitality, travel, including tourism. They were unsurprisingly affected by the pandemic. But on the there were a few industry verticals as well, like healthcare, retail, banking, finance, and insurance, and even a horizontal offering in the case of e-commerce that really flourished through this year, through the pandemic, enough to help propel the sector's growth, as I have just shared with you. With most organizations, I think started their momentum by the late quarter of 2020. We were already showing signs of recovery in the fourth quarter, specifically in the IT outsourcing front. We have seen a number of clients starting to invest more in digitalization to mitigate prevailing issues caused by the pandemic and as a way to enhance overall business continuity plans capabilities. Now, with 2020 behind us, let us look at the various trends and opportunities that will help define the IT BPM sector in 2021 and beyond. Now, contrary to many people's concerns last year, the outsourcing industry actually grew in prominence during the health crisis. And this was largely caused by improved perceptions on remote work, with clients realizing that work can in fact be done remotely without any significant loss of employee productivity. And if I look back at 2020 and the transition that we have in fact carried out in terms of enabling and putting up the infrastructure, the management discipline and rigor to allow work from home, I think that has really been key in the success that we have seen and the growth that we are reaping now. Now, this year, the global IT BPM industry is in fact forecasted to grow between 5 to 6% in terms of headcount. And I'm talking about the global industry here. Now, in terms of revenue, the prognosis is that we will grow by as much as 7%. And I think that's a very sizable number of growth that, we all should be shooting for, especially as economies try to recover. But there are a few things that are needed, for this growth to be realized. And first, and the list is shown here. And without going through a lot, I will call out on a few. I think an effective vaccine rollout is really going to be key. We have already seen how this has dramatically impacted locations or countries where they had been advanced in terms of rolling out vaccine. They're opening up their economy, and the surges in terms of economic activity are quite evident. And as a result of that, there is also, the pent-up demand that we need to account for. And that's why early part of the year, we were already starting to see quite a number of these. And that's why for many of the companies that are in our sector, they have started registering even in the first quarter of this year alone. Now, coming out of a very challenging 2020, we do have, clients that are really challenged with cost and are seeing that offshoring or outsourcing can really lead to significant cost savings. So we're creating a new range of clients, if you will, that are slowly warming up to the concept of offshoring over and beyond, the traditional clients that we already have here. Enterprises are similarly considering multiple aspects of their location strategy. We've talked about the rebalancing, the resolutioning of work as it is done from a footprint standpoint, and enhancing their BCP will require organizations to really look at their holistic approach in terms of offshoring or outsourcing. Demand is particularly strong also for IT-oriented and complex services such as IT cloud, data center, and on the horizontal capability front, finance and accounting, and even applications maintenance. And here you see there are also emerging subsegments. Again, I will not drain everything here, but an example would be end-to-end digital customer experience management. We have seen that flourish during the height of the pandemic, and we think that it is there to stay. Similarly, healthcare BPO, we have seen a surge in terms of growth. And in fact, as I speak with country heads currently, they are recasting their growth numbers and are in fact looking for ways and faster ways to grow themselves, because demand is certainly there, and they are having a difficult time keeping up with the supply of individuals, of talent that are needed to support. And so let me move on to the next topic here, in terms of our prospects and outlook for 2021 and beyond. On account of these latest developments and trends that I have just mentioned, plus the lingering effect and impact, and I think we all agree here, we as an industry continues to stay. We are somewhat confident that we will grow, but we are likewise cognizant of the fact that we are yet and we need to really keep in sync in terms of providing the sufficient guardrails that will not derail our growth trajectory. Now, based on the study that was previously done by the Everest Group, we have set our headcount target at around 5% or 5.5%, over the next couple of years. And we tried to validate the numbers that we are putting forward to ourselves. And it seems like this level of optimism is similarly shared by a number of country leaderships, because earlier this year we also did a survey where it covered roughly 50% of the employment base, or about 600 to 650,000 employees, and companies that comprise that relative employee base. And as you can see here, 87% of the respondents, these companies who responded, are in fact expecting to see growth of anywhere between 5 to 15%. And the remaining, or the balance, which is about 30%, are anticipating that they will remain flat for the year. Now, in the same survey, there are also other insights that we can gather. And for a number of these companies, they are in fact thinking aggressively about growing in the countryside within the next 12 to 18 months. And particular interest was shown in locating to previously identified centers of excellence and digital cities like Cebu, Iloilo, Davao, Clark, and Batangas, and a few others. We also found out from the same survey that the IT-BPM firms are in fact prioritizing optimization of their existing operations, as well as upskilling, embracing digital transformation, and forging partnerships with academe in 2021. So what the priorities that we gathered, or the insights that we gathered from the survey, are holding up well in terms of where we think we should push this industry towards for the next, not just 1 or 2 years, but over the next 5 to 6 years, in fact. Up to this point, we also had very extensive discussions with different government representatives to ensure that our point of view on a number of bills and soon to be laws are heard and considered. Now, I during the height of the pandemic, we were really working closely with many government agencies to partner with them and help each other manage the impact of the pandemic. And I think that crucial partnership is also key to why we did grow, and why we think that continuing that partnership is going to be critical. Now, very specific to a landmark bill or act that was recently signed into law is the CREATE Act. And while it has undergone several permutations, starting with being called the Train 2, eventually becoming Trabajo Bill, and then just before COVID, it was the Sitira Bill, and now eventually it was called the CREATE Bill, or the CREATE Act, as signed into law. This, in fact, comes at a very good time, and we believe that it will be helpful in jumpstarting the Philippine economy by helping firms, maintain solvency, avoid closing, and preserve and create jobs. In addition to, the reducing corporate income taxes and rationalizing incentives, I think at the end of the day, the most important value, at least in the context of incentives, is that it finally ends investor uncertainty, because now we have a bill that we can work with. And while we have gone through several iterations of this over several years, we are personally glad that it is over, and we have a bill that I think we can work with. Now, while this landmark measure has been signed into law, we obviously are staying the course and sustaining the dialogues with our partners and friends in government. We're currently in the middle of conversations specifically around a section of the Create Bill, Section 309, on the prohibition on registered activities. And as a result, we've also formalized our request with the OF, DTI, Senate, and Congress to allow able to continue the hybrid model where we are utilizing work from home as a method, as a construct to balance out our ability to deliver services while at the same time putting front and center the safety of our employees. There is a risk that it may derail our ability to do this and on a sustained basis unless we are able to find a way to find the sufficient legal basis for us to do that and not be disallowed as a result of this restriction. Now, on the same front, we've also had been rallying efforts to extend the work from home, work from anywhere setup that we currently have, where the validity extends up until September of this year. And we have submitted and presented our business case on at least a 2-year extension to the PESA board. And the initial guidance we received from this was to form internally within the PESA board construct a technical working group to examine the request. And we've really taken action on these items, knowing that the hybrid working model, which I think many of you, if not all of you, will agree, will remain as a very vital component in our pandemic response, as well as the country level competitiveness. Now, this model has been I think, a very critical success factor in our ability to grow despite the pandemic in 2020. And this will truly define future prospects of the industry. So this is something that we view as very important, and we will pursue the conversation around this. Now, moving on to the discussion around vaccine procurement and the rollout plans, given the continuing COVID situation here in the Philippines, and an urgent and pressing matter that also needs to be addressed is the very timely, efficient, and widespread rollout of the vaccine. This will be critical not only in the health and safety of the general population, but also it will bring back a sense of normalcy and predictability to many industries, including ours. And on this front, the industry has in fact joined a number of consortiums to procure, at least based on last reckoning, over 1 million doses of vaccines for employees and their dependents. Now, deliveries of AstraZeneca, Moderna, and Novavax are expected to begin towards the latter part of Q2 and continue throughout the second half of 2021. Now, again, just would like to make this acknowledgement that this was made possible through various tripartite agreements involving the national government, a number of private sector entities, as well as other pharma companies, which at the heart of these tripartite agreements is really an intent to fast track the Philippine National Vaccine Roadmap, which hopefully, when we are successful in implementing this, will invigorate the country's economy. IBPAP in particular is participating in one such agreement, very tightly with the ICTSI Foundation. And as a result, over 100 ITBPM organizations have gained access to the Moderna vaccine because we needed to act as a consolidator for smaller enterprises. And there were a few other partners of ours, like the Makati Business Club, the Management Association of the Philippines, and Finex, who also served as consolidators in this exercise. And very recently, IBPAP, together with our partner association, CCAP and HEMAP, together with the Quezon City local government, entered into a MOA, or a Memorandum of Agreement, on the vaccination of qualified workers of BPOs located in the city. And the partnership also gives health workers from participating companies the option to volunteer and assist in the vaccination exercise. And this is something that we are really proud of, and we are thankful to the Quezon City LGU headed by the Honorable Mayor Joy Belmonte, because this is, I think, a first of its kind in terms of an agreement between an LGU and an industry, and we hope that it will serve as a template for our ongoing efforts with other LGUs where we have significant footprint from an industry standpoint. We've also heard from the National Task Force Against COVID very recently that the IT/BPM industry has been included under the A4 priority group of the national government. And this is really welcome news because this will give us earlier access to the vaccine and gives employers the option to inoculate or vaccinate more of their workforce with their own procured vaccines or donate it later on to the public sector. We are just awaiting for the formal inclusion via an IATF resolution, and we do hope to get a copy of that soon. Now, equally important to the procurement and the eventual administration of the vaccine is our awareness initiative with other business groups to just encourage and help stem misinformation and address vaccine hesitancy among our employees, which I think is true predominantly with other industries too. And that's why, together again with some friends of ours in the business sectors, and with the help of Ingat Angat and Malinlo, we help cascade the communication toolkits that will allow hundreds of organizations to develop their own campaign plan internally within their organizations so that they can increase the level of willingness on the part of their employees to be vaccinated. Now, another one of the IT/BPM industry's priority is, of course, to fortify and really strengthen our workforce. And if we can move on to the next slide, it follows that one of our urgent concern is getting a national upskilling and reskilling framework scaled and ready for widespread implementation. Now, in line with this, we have initiated several programs under talent attraction and development to just make sure that the IT/BPM sector and its workforce are ready to answer the growing and shifting demands of the global marketplace. We are believers that this industry will continue to grow, but the growth that we will see over the next few years is going to be very different from the growth that we have seen in the past decade or the past decades. Simply put, we will need to be looking at advancing our skills to be able to take on the higher value jobs. And that's why we need to be aggressively looking into this as we also chart our future. Now, without getting into a lot of the specific, let me just call out a few. The industry awareness fair, as simple and as straightforward as it may be, I think this is very important. No, it's a series of events where we feature our ambassadors with the aim to reach out to fresh graduates or future graduates or job seekers and career shifters to educate them about preparing themselves to become an IT/BPM professional and that a career in the IT BPM industry is not a temporary one. And in fact, this is an industry that you can work long term and be successful. We also have leadership series trainings, an initiative that features thought leadership, competency building seminars, and workshops aiming to expand the capacity and capabilities of incumbents and aspiring leaders for the digital age. Again, we are, well, individuals are physically working here. We are working side by side with our global clients. And, the talent that we have here are standing toe to toe with their counterparts in other countries. So we do need to ensure that they are equipped well to be successful in those roles. Lastly, I want to point out is the scaled upskilling pilot. And this is really a training program in partnership with the DICT that targets to train close to 20 very specific skills across the various subsectors for implementation, hopefully starting this year. We've encountered some setbacks in terms of prioritization because of the pandemic, but we do hope to get this off the ground within the next 2 months. Something that's really I think important for us to look forward to, because this will pave the way as well in terms of what kind of training are needed for us to be prepared for the digital age that we are getting into. Now, as we move forward on these ongoing plans, we also need to keep in mind that there is a bigger picture to consider when it comes to the IT BPM sector's continued relevance and competitiveness. And as such, we have identified a few key strategic imperatives and corresponding initiatives under each one of them, which we believe are really critical, not just in achieving our growth potentials by 2022, but really, I think many of these are here to stay and are critical in our ability to ensure that growth is sustained in the horizon. And what these are, number one, is a stronger pivot towards becoming a more digitally enabled nation, one that continues to be globally competitive and relevant as a prime investment destination. Second, the need to expedite investments in talent attraction, as I have just mentioned a while ago, talent attraction and development, particularly for domain and digital skills. I think that's going to be, an area that we need to focus on, not just this year or next year, but, on an annual basis. Next would be enhancing government support and fortifying the industry's role in the formulation of enabling and responsive and precise public policies to create, at the end of the day, a business friendly environment. The next, I think we do need to revisit and refresh the Philippine IT BPM's value proposition and promote continuing positive conversations around the IT BPM sector through strategic marketing and targeted investor relations initiatives. And last but not the least, hasten projects in improving and strengthening telecoms, power, transportation infrastructures. The impact of the health crisis has indeed placed the industry in uncharted territories, one that we had been able to navigate quite well so far, but clearly there is much that remains to be done to pivot and get on the path of sustained long-term recovery and growth. And with that, I take a pause here and happy to engage you in the Q&A later. Thank you again.
Mr. Ray Untal, thank you so much for that enlightening presentation. A lot of ground to cover for sure, and really, really showing us that it's really going to take a village to thrive and succeed even further in the now normal. Now, at this point, I'd like to remind everybody that if you have any questions for any of our speakers throughout this whole presentation, don't be shy to drop those in the comments section, because as he said, we do have that Q&A segment coming up rather. So don't be shy to let us know what your questions are for our speakers, because in a little while we're going to be welcoming them back on screen for that question and answer portion. Okay, but until then, let's keep the ball rolling here by introducing our partner speaker. Now, our partner speaker for today orchestrates across segment, priority partners, and the extended small and medium business pursuit teams to create new engagements in top BPO customers. She earned her undergraduate degree in psychology at St. Scholastica's College in Manila, where she graduated with distinction. She has extensive telco experience, including sales role positions she held at Philcom and ETPI. Before joining the software giant, she completed a 17-year stint at PLDT, where she was the business head for the offshoring and outsourcing sector. Prior to her BPO segment leadership role, she was a people manager in the SME business, covering retail, education, FSI, and gaming. Prior to that post, she was a customer service relationship manager, serving top Philippines conglomerates that include Metrobank Group, the Lopez Group, and the MPIC Group. Let's welcome on screen now our partner speaker, BPO segment lead of Microsoft Philippines, Ms. Malu Labong Talosig.
Thank you very much, Carla, for that very kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to present to you Microsoft Philippines with its partnership with ETPI, our BPO transformation roadmap, our attempt to understand the industry's ways to respond, adapt, thrive in this ongoing pandemic, our way forward towards the future of work. Let me begin my presentation by dissecting the whole BPO industry, starting from the global landscape. This, in a nutshell, demonstrates the multiple disruptive forces impacting the global BPO market due to this ongoing COVID-19 situation. We have insights from our data team and the industry associations to put together a comprehensive summary of what's happening, what now, how are we holding up, and when the dust settles, what's in it for the next global scene. On the Philippine perspective, the Philippine BPO industry contributes to about 7% of the Philippines' GDP. We are the current leader on two major aspects, cost arbitrage and talent advantages. We take pride in not only being the center of excellence for voice, but ultimately the center of excellence for customer experience. Maintaining this is the most crucial and pressing issue in this current time. We have to always be on our toes to ensure that this position is not going to get eroded by the entry of new low-cost players that move away from voice interactions and more on automation of low-skill transactional activities. A holistic transformation is an imperative, leveraging on post-COVID trends that will ensure higher returns, deeper engagements, and stickiness to customers. Now more than ever is not the time to lose contracts and more so to lose talented agents due to attrition. The ongoing pandemic has brought about a combination of tailwinds and headwinds. There may have been tremendous losses, but we were also overcome by meaningful gains. There were sectors that suffered in the midst like travel, tourism, and leisure, while BPO servicing food, commodities, and lifestyles thrive due to traffic has been relegated to the work-from-home market. Then there are those that blew away from the direction of the wind. There was an estimated 120 billion peso spending on unplanned costs, mainly due to work-from-home connectivity and work tools, coupled with missed opportunities due to low capacity. At the height of the lockdown, there was an imminent threat of reshoring, but it was quickly mitigated towards the last quarter of 2020 because we were able to establish that as a country, the Philippines proves to be the most resilient workplace as we have the best work-from-home infrastructure around Asia, all thanks to telcos like ETPI. Disruptions from AI is also a factor to consider. as more and more BPOs are exploring to use platforms that can dimension simple transactions to be handled by bots and more and complex analytical ones by human agents. And of course, over and above all of these is the rising importance of cybersecurity. Even prior to this pandemic, we would always put ourselves in the shoes of our C-level clients. This is just so we would understand their issues and, more importantly, their top of mind. Any BPO CEO aspires to become the overseas partner of choice for prioritized industries. This has a lot to do with deep customer relationships and delivering compelling propositions across value chain. They want to be able to deliver high-value knowledge-based work as a major shift from voice transaction work. We have to also double-click on productivity improvements in the new normal. In the absence of a supervisor or team leader on the floor, how are they able to deliver this? And how secure are they that they can be able to secure and nurture top talents? Because as mentioned earlier, now is not the time to lose good talents because it's going to be twice as hard to replace them. And last but definitely not the least, our valued CEOs would never compromise data security, especially in the midst of the work from home scramble. So where are we exactly? I would like to believe that we are past the work from home scramble. It was not a long time ago, prior to joining Microsoft, I used to be connected with another telco company servicing the same industry. Upon the first call to ECQ by President Duterte, everyone was on their toes. Every BPO in every nook and cranny shouldered on. They were ready. Everyone was ready. The telcos were ever so agile, they heeded to the call of these BPOs. They delivered work from home devices, installed home connectivity, and they were a great help in putting all of this whole affair in order. Let me tell you how integral is the role of ETPI into the whole ecosystem. Moving on from stage 1 and inching a bit closer to stage 2 is a more sustainable work setup that has allowed these BPOs to conduct resource continuity planning. They are able to build contingent workforce and were able to rethink the spans of control within their organization. In other words, past a certain point, we were learning to stabilize. I guess where we are right now, far and in between, is that we are still recalibrating the future of work. We are trying to accelerate the transformation of the work itself. There is a call for a more effective and seamless remote work to fulfill their work from anywhere mission. Then there will come a time, vaccine and herd immunity permitting, we should all be resetting to the new normal, not only for the BPO industry, but for the whole country in general. We will achieve a level of sophistication around virtual working in the provider workspace. We will excel at everything virtual as a country. Now, this is the part where Microsoft Philippines can help fulfill the mission. We have put together a BPO business architecture that can hopefully address either a pain point or a vision. This also allows the client to realize where they are placed and where they want to go. We have solutions anywhere from secure remote work, digital omni-channel, and workforce productivity. Eventually, all customers will think about Agile and DevOps and how to make their operations more intelligent. For this afternoon, we will focus on secure remote work, digital omnichannel, and workforce productivity. The succeeding slides will showcase scenarios and use cases, as well as our enabling capabilities. More importantly, we will discuss possible Microsoft technologies with the help of ETPI connectivity that we can map to address these scenarios and help businesses to transform. When we think about secure remote work, I want you to think about three important things: identity, data, and devices. Full work from home requires seamless and flexible operations. BPO should be able to access new and advanced skills and leverage on virtual contingent workforce to expand service offerings, geographic presence, and value-added business models securely. When asked about what omnichannel is that we imagine different methods of acquiring information, whether it be on several platforms like physical, online, and social media. There has been an increasing move to digital interactions to drive operational efficacies and effectiveness. There is a need for frictionless experience, customer self-service, digital assistance, and other processes getting digitized. It allows the customer to have a 360-degree view on a more unified platform with integration to social media, virtual agents, and digital forms. Lastly, I'd say that amongst the many pillars of the BPO operations, workforce productivity is a personal favorite. The initial COVID response, where there was a high level of remote work under virtual supervision and strict social distancing, resulted to lower productivity and service levels. We should be able to optimize workforce management from recruiting, onboarding, training, upskilling, reskilling, offboarding, and retirement. Microsoft and ETPI can help in learning management, knowledge and product management, workflow management, and unified communications. This should motivate staff with real-time management and engagement, mentoring light touch oversight with proactive artificial intelligence guidance, and performance innovation gamification. In summary, we have dimensioned three transformative pillars that fulfills the journey towards the future of work. Horizon 1 would be digitalization, Horizon 2 would be innovation, and lastly, Horizon 3 would be the transformation, where it already leads to advanced knowledge management, real-time insights, and prescriptive actions. This is also where AI can be at optimal consumption. This roadmap is where we become future-proof. In parting, I would like us to imagine this for the BPO industry. Imagine optimal physical and virtual capabilities that support a fully functional service and delivery center. Imagine expanding your service offerings to reduce costs and automating digital services that allow your employees to focus on high-value services. Imagine a fully functional employee engagement and experience portal that can allow them to share knowledge and expertise to quickly become productive and improve service quality. Imagine if you could analyze the performance of your employees to make better decisions about improving operations. And last but definitely not the least, imagine the Philippines without the BPO industry, an industry that has thrived and was well in the trenches to keep the economy afloat despite these trying times. Imagine becoming a fundamental part of the industry's value chain, driving data-infused insights, innovation, and best practices. Then we can all say we did our share in inspiring the country to survive this temporary setback. We inspire to build this new muscle that would make us even stronger as a nation. Thank you so much. Happy to answer questions later in the Q&A. Meanwhile, take the next step with ETPI. You may contact your account managers for any inquiries on how Microsoft can help transform your business. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon.
Thanks so much, Ms. Malu. Some great points there as well. I love those three horizons of digitalization, innovation, and transformation. And for sure, we're going to continue diving into those concepts a little bit later in our question and answer portion. And as she invited, she will be taking questions later. So if you have any burning questions for any of our speakers, please do not be shy. Drop them in that comment box in your screen, and we will try to get to as many of those as we can later. Okay, but until then, we do have one more speaker lined up for you today, and it is, of course, our Ka-Eastern speaker. And today's Ka-Eastern speaker is a marketing research professional. He believes in insights through research enables businesses to develop informed strategies to deliver on their objectives more effectively and efficiently. He has worked as the project lead for the expansion feasibility study of Eastern Communications and all other research studies. He is a certified marketing professional, and he also recently completed his certifications on digital marketing and digital marketing analytics. Let's hear now from the Enterprise Segment Manager for BPO, ICT, and Software Development Industry, Mr. Ryder James Mariano.
Thank you, Carla, and thank you for everyone for joining us this afternoon. Thank you also to Mr. Rayuntal and Malu for sharing their insights this afternoon. So let's start it. COVID really disrupted the world last year, It changed the way we live and the way we work. Everyone, regardless of their background, was forced to adapt and adjust in order to cope with the changes the effects of the pandemic brought. Many businesses were forced to accelerate their digital transformation journey, and plans that were only plans at that point had to be enforced or put into place suddenly. In terms of the vaccines, we were still unsure of when they would be available or how effective they were going to be. It was really uncertain back then. On the local front, the Philippines ended the year of 2020 with its worst economic performance at negative 9.5% since the country began releasing growth data. This year, things have started to become better, but it's still pretty volatile. We recently experienced an upward trend in COVID cases, leading to another round of stricter quarantine measures. But businesses have already started rebounding, and digitalization has been one of the keys to that. In terms of the outlook, as reported by PSA and NEDA, the expected GDP growth rate of 2021 could go back to the pre-pandemic level, ranging from 6.5% to 7.5%, a pretty much 16 to 17% increase from the year of 2020. Then the shift happened. With what happened in 2020, we at Eastern had to accelerate our digital transformation journey, and we ourselves had to quickly pivot and shift our focus even more to non-core and non-traditional products and services. From connectivity, which was our bread and butter, we had to transition to ICT solutions to address the pain points resulting from the effects of the pandemic that our customers were experiencing. We strengthened our ICT solutions portfolio and also pushed forward with our expansion plans to be able to serve the requirements of companies outside our current network footprint. But before we move forward, I want to share the story of AMG Petronas F1 Team Medyo. Mercedes' return to Formula One in 2010 after a 53 years absence was more disappointing than they expected. The team's performance during the 2010 season was not so competitive. They lagged behind the teams of Ferrari, McLaren, and Red Bull. The following year, the team finished fourth in the Constructors' Championship again, with no wins, podiums, or poles. The following years were more of the same with little improvement. However, before the 2014 season, they took a step back and analyzed what they could do better. By reimagining everything, they dominated the sport for 7 straight years and counting. Making this turnaround required innovation. They introduced a new engine design and other new technologies to F1. It also required building a cohesive team and the right talent, and it required leadership. Mercedes' journey from failure to success provides interesting insights, as businesses everywhere are thinking of ways to bounce back from the effects of the pandemic had on their business. Our experience during the pandemic gave us a better understanding of our customers and their needs then and in the now or next normal. So how can brands or businesses bounce back and thrive post-pandemic? We suggest that in order to come back stronger, companies should reimagine their business model as they return to full speed. Those who step up their game will be better off and far more ready to confront the challenges and opportunities of the next normal than those who do not. There are 5 areas you can focus on: empower your customers, reduce their risks, provide long-term support, refocus digital efforts, and finally, accelerate tech modernizations. These are tips or insights coming from what worked for us, and it's also based on what we experienced. This insights was also based on the Year in Search 2020 report by Google. Empower your customers starts with listening to them and getting a better understanding of where they are currently and where they want to be. Understanding your customers would allow you to suggest products and solutions that would best suit their needs. Communications help bridge the gaps and allows you to know really well what your customers need at that precise moment. Don't sell just for the sake of making a sale. Transition from being a product selling to solution selling based on pain points or needs. Work and collaborate with your customers, be it internal or external customers. This shift in mindset is something that we started in Eastern before the pandemic, but COVID accelerated our adoption to solution selling, which would have probably taken us a couple of years to do but we were thrust into it, and it's now our primary mindset. Because of this, we were able to adapt to their evolving needs better. Through our solutions like Eastern Cloud, M365, and Teleworking Gateway, for example, we were able to empower our customers to adapt and adjust to remote working better. And they're now in a better position to thrive in the now normal. Free trials help ease the worries of our customers, like M365 free trials. It gave them the chance to experience it before they buy it from us. By listening to and empowering your customers, you will also be in the position to be able to reduce the risk of your customers. Explore offering flexible payment options to help your customers if they're experiencing challenges with do two things. You will be able to keep them as a customer instead of losing business. And then they'll increase the likelihood that they would stay loyal to your brand. Remember, it costs more to acquire new customers than to maintain or retain customers. Yes, it might hit your bottom line in the short term, but in the long run, it will be more beneficial to you and your businesses. Explore free trials or try before you buy. By doing this, you will allow customers and potential customers to experience your service to see how it will benefit them. In our case, during the height of the pandemic, our conversations with our clients started with, how can we help you? And we customize offers and solutions based on what they were experiencing at that time. And in order to reduce the risk to them, we provided them with higher bandwidth at the same price. And now that they're doing better than they were a year ago, they're still loyal Eastern customers. We also provided free trials of Microsoft M365 to various government agencies and some universities. They experienced how it enabled them to work remotely and still be able to collaborate effectively, and they transitioned to paying customers. Be a strong partner to our clients by providing all-around customer service from pre-sales to after-sales. This builds trust and loyalty to your brand. As you take care of your customers, they will also patronize your brand in the long term. To build your capabilities, to make sure you provide quality and long-term support to your customers, consider capability building and partnering with providers or suppliers who provide training and certification in the products that they provide you with. This ensures that you will be able to provide more value to your customers. In Eastern's case, we have continued to adhere to international standards and best practices. We've acquired accreditations and certifications that establish our credibility and competency to provide support and maintain our network with stability and consistency. We are the first telco in the country to be ISO 9001:2015 certified. This is a testament to our commitment in continuously improving the quality of our products and services. We are a Carrier Ethernet 2.0 certified by the Metro Ethernet Forum, enabling us to deliver multiple classes of service and manageability over interconnected provider networks. Also, we are a Cisco Premier Partner, and this reinforces our expertise in network design and implementation. Then lastly, we are also a Microsoft Silver Partner, and through this, we are able to solidify our position as a technical expert in Microsoft Cloud, collaboration, and productivity solutions. And with Microsoft's wide range of products offerings that caters to the changing needs of our customers in these challenging times, every user is ensured to have their work done effectively and efficiently. We also make sure that our employees, our army, are equipped with the latest skills by sending them to relevant training and certification courses to build both their hard and soft skills. These guarantees that we at Eastern are able to provide the best support that our customers deserve. To adapt, companies need to quickly refocus their digital efforts, rethink customer journeys, and accelerate the development of digital solutions. The emphasis will be different for each sector. The rise of telehealth in this challenging time was very rapid and very helpful to the people in terms of their safety, as they can access medical help online. For many retailers, this includes creating a seamless e-commerce experience, enabling customers to complete everything they need to do online, from initial research and purchase to service and returns. From a technical standpoint, the enabler of all of this is cloud. In a recent survey, The Role of Cloud in Asia and Confidence in Asian Innovation by the Alibaba Group, majority of respondents, or 94% of Philippine businesses view cloud-based IT solutions as an important factor in mitigating the impact of the pandemic. Also, 88% of the Philippine businesses said they are now more supportive of using cloud-based IT solutions to grow their businesses as compared to before COVID-19. Among the highest of the market survey, businesses in the Philippines are embracing cloud technology because it has given them the flexibility to adjust quickly and easily during the pandemic. We anticipate that more businesses in the Philippines will adopt to cloud services for their core businesses in the near future. There are four key success factors to IT modernization. To enable successful IT modernization at scale, you need to deploy a secure, modern IT estate that integrates technology platforms and enable change at the speed and pace of your business requires. Build for speed and insights. Modern IT environment help organizations increase speed and unlock data for the businesses. Enterprises are rethinking IT priorities in the face of rapidly changing business demands, and driving the change are demands for immediate cost savings, operational agility, resilience, and security. Modernization is a way for businesses to reinvent themselves and help them rapidly scale and shorten time to market. It means new ways of working that harness the speed of the cloud and new cultures that value agility and innovation. First, you need to align the IT with business. The first crucial step toward modernization is the alignment of IT and business strategies within the organization. Determining which improvements fit with the overall business strategy, finding opportunities to align with that vision, and developing a well-thought-out plan. This requires high levels of collaboration and trust in the organization to achieve required business outcomes such as cost savings, flexibility, and business acceleration. The plans have to be reevaluated regularly to take into consideration any and all the changes along the way. Next is simplify and optimize IT. To optimize costs, businesses can implement a technology refresh. That includes lean processes and automation, improving workload placement, and eliminating unused or underused systems, services, and data. Next is modernize applications and data. This involves establishing priorities based on the business's needs and assessing and rationalizing the applications that they are using, leading to cost savings. Modernizing or transforming the application that enables speed, agility, and further savings. Or deploying a cloud-based operating model. All of this while considering the security, performance, and financial requirements. Lastly, operate and secure hybrid at scale. Most large enterprises will have to maintain a hybrid estate in the near term. So they need an operating model that ensures the business can respond to market changes and continue to secure a much broader ecosystem as cloud resources grow. In a modern hybrid IT environment, organizations can continuously innovate, provision IT assets on demand, and provide consumption elasticity while eliminating the IT's traditional fixed assets. This also requires organizations to develop new strategies for working in harmony with resources on-premise, in data centers, or the cloud at the edge. The new operating model ensures integrated operations, intelligent automation at the scale, and the ability to leverage analytics, AI, and in processes for greater insight, speed, and efficiency. So, in a nutshell, increasing the speed of innovation and productivity of digital solutions will lead to business resurgence. And we at Eastern are committed to help you bounce back and empower you to achieve more. We haven't stopped and don't plan to stop on innovation and providing you with solutions that you need. First is our innovation through our solution. Just recently, we announced our partnership with Cato Networks, a global enterprise networking and security company, to provide secure access service edge, or SASE services in the country. This would allow all enterprise network resources, including the branch locations, the mobile workforce, and physical and cloud data centers to be unified, providing a holistic, agile, and adaptable service to the business. This is part of our commitment to provide world-class connectivity and more simplified wide area networking solutions to enterprise sector, allowing them to continue to thrive in a post-COVID-19 world. Second is we personalize services. On top of our innovative and reliable technology, one of our differentiators or main edge among our competitors is that we are high touch. We are better when it comes to being responsive to our customers, and we delight them with our brand of personalized services. Delighting our customers is at the forefront of our brand of personalized services because we believe that human connections are equally important, especially during the uncertain or challenging times. We believe that advancements in technology should not be the be all and end all of a telecommunications company. It's time to bring back the human connection in businesses. Eastern Communication is here to change the way telco and ICT services are being delivered, where high tech is just as important as high touch. And lastly, our promised service consistency at scale. Consistency is the key. And of course, when it comes to services or customer satisfaction, consistency is one of the most important factors to consider. We at Eastern Communications, we always make sure to consistently deliver our services across all our present network footprints. To end, I'd like to leave you with this quote. Fearless is not being completely unafraid. Fearless is getting back up, doing what needs to be done, and being able to thrive in spite of the challenges and things that scares us. It's moving on and moving forward, having faith that someday things will change. And we at Eastern are here to help you with that. Again, thank you so much for having me, and have a great afternoon, everyone.
Thanks so much for that presentation, Ryder. Now, it's always so comforting and so reassuring, I suppose, to hear the Eastern Communications perspective and to see how they continue to grow and evolve to the situation together with their partners. Now, if you have questions for Ryder, as for with any of our speakers, again, don't be shy to drop those questions in our comment box because it's almost time for that Q&A segment. So if you got any burning questions, now is the time to send those in because we're going to try and tackle as many of those as possible in just a minute. Okay, but first things first, we're going to be taking a short breather. And if you joined us here on E-Huddle before, you know that this was coming. You knew that this was coming. And if this is your first time joining us, then surprise, we've got a little breather now, and it is our Eastern Communications electronic raffle. Of course, your Ka-Easterns don't want you guys to go home empty-handed. So this is a chance to win a little something extra aside from the insights and knowledge that we are gaining today. And so here is how it works. Very, very simple. If you haven't joined us before, if you are the winner of our electronic raffle today, it's going to be very easy. We're going to be flashing the names of our winners on the screen. And if you see your name on screen, what do you got to do? All you need to do is take a screenshot and follow the instructions you see here on your screen. So you take that file and you send it to us at marketing@etpi.com.ph, subject line Eastern Huddle 19 May 2021 raffle, and all that info that you see right there. You can take a picture if you need to, just to make sure you keep track of everything you have to send. But very, very easy, okay? And yeah, in just a minute, we're going to be announcing the winners of our minor prizes. But let's take a look at everything that is up for grabs first. And we've got 2 minor prizes and 1 major prize. Check it out. Our minor prizes are an Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K and a Xiaomi Smart Band, while our major prize winner will be receiving that lovely JBL hybrid wired over-ear headset with flip-up mic. Really handy, really cool tech you could get your hands on in this electronic raffle. So let's find out who the minor prize winners are first. We're going to hop right to that right now. Again, if you're believing that you are the winner today, get ready to take a screenshot because you're going to need that, okay? So let's take a look right now. Congratulations to the winner of the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Let's see who it's gonna be right now. Denver Supremo, congratulations to you. You won the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Now, Denver, you gotta take that screenshot. I'm gonna give you a couple more seconds to do that. And again, you're gonna have to follow the instructions that we gave just a moment ago. Okay, congratulations to you, Denver. Now it's time to find out who the winner of that Xiaomi Smart Band is. Let's take a look. Gerard Velasco. Congratulations, Gerard. Again, you got to take that screenshot right now, Gerard, because you're going to be needing it. So I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to do that. Congratulations to Gerard Velasco, winner of our Xiaomi Mi Band. Congratulations. Okay. Fantastic. Now, if you didn't see your name on the screen, do not be disheartened just yet because we've got that major prize lined up. But we're going to find out who the winner of that one is in just a little while. Okay, so don't go too far because we're going to be giving that away later. But for now, it is time to open the floor for our question and answer portion. Fantastic. We have with us here our speakers. I'm going to be welcoming them back on screen. Always great to have company here in my little box here on your screen. So let's welcome back here Mr. Ray Untal, Ms. Malu Talosig, and Mr. Ryder James Mariano to join me on the screen. There we go. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Carla.
Hello, good
Can
afternoon. Good afternoon, Carla.
Okay, I hear you, Malu. I hear you, Ray. Ryder, could we check your mic real quick?
Hi, Carla.
Just give us a hello. There we go. You know how it is, guys. We always got to check these days. Always got to make sure. It is just part of that now normal, sequence that we always have to do. So, everyone, thank you for joining me here on screen, and thank you for your presentations. To everybody tuned in, we've got 10 minutes to answer some of these questions that we have lined up here. And I'm just going to jump right in, if you all don't mind. I'm going to start with a general question, which is addressed to all of you. And let's just follow the sequence in which we're lined up here on the screen. So Ray, I will ask you first. Malu, same question. And then Ryder, same question. And then I have a couple of more tailored questions for each of you. Sound good? Let's hop to it. Okay. So starting with our general question, again, this is for all of you. It is this. More enterprises are realizing that with the integration of new technologies to their business operations, it's now time to serve their customers in innovative ways. What do you think is the best tool that they need to start utilizing in the now normal? Best tool they need to start utilizing. Ray, could we start with you?
Well, I think let me start by saying thank you for that not so generic question. But I think there are quite a lot of tools that many of our employees need to really get accustomed to. And in fact, the conversation is less about what are the tools that are available, but what are the tools that you are in fact utilizing. When we move into this hybrid model that we are on, I mean, just a year ago, who would have thought that this platform that we are utilizing now is going to be common? But there are an abundance of productivity tools that are in fact available as well, attached to some of the technologies that are already being utilized by organizations. And while I don't think it's proper for us to go through each and individual item, I think what is more important is that as an employee, you need to be agile. You need to be learning every day. And you need to be embracing this change that we are going through. Because all of those other tools are simply enablers. And at the end of the day, it's you as an individual who is willing to adapt and change that will pave the way on how successful you will be amid this crisis.
Thanks for that, Ray. And that resounds so well with everything we've been talking about here in this series, not just in this season, as you would call it, for the Inspire Fearless Transformation, but even throughout the year in previous conversations we've had here in E-Huddle. It's exactly as you said, that we need to stay agile and we can't be so set in hoping that the old ways that we did things was enough, or that the old way we did things is enough to carry us through this pandemic season. And so very, very well phrased there, Ray, because it really resounds with everything we've been talking about here. All right, Malu, same question for you again. What is the best tool that people now need to start utilizing in the now normal?
Thank you very much, Carla. First of all, Sir Ray, it's an honor to share the virtual stage with you as well as Ryder. Good afternoon, everybody. It's an honor to be here. Well, I couldn't agree more. I actually echo Sir Ray's statement about being agile, but been uh, much has been a lot of talk on data, and data as it is now the modern electricity. So I think the best tool insofar as how Microsoft can actually support is really on how to modernize your data warehouse. Modernizing it can actually help open up opportunities for analytics and more exciting workloads, no? Especially if we are very cognizant about KPIs and KRAs. So KPIs could anywhere between faster time resolution, more automation, and less employee intervention. So the best tool, I think, is really what enhances data analytics to keep up with the changing customer demands, no? Not only the changing workload demands. And now that it's in the now normal, we should be able to have a tool that provides us with insight-driven and knowledge-based solutions and analytics. This is just so we can actually deepen customer relationships, drive engagement, and efficiencies as well as consistency.
Thanks for that, Malu, and definitely agree with that. I think maybe for many of us, with all this excitement about digital transformation, maybe you'll subscribe to all of the subscriptions and you'll download all of the software and you'll pick up all this new hardware, and you're not necessarily data driven, or you're not necessarily using those insights. So I think that kind of data is very important in making smart decisions, I think. So thanks again, Malu. Ryder, same question for you. Best tool that enterprises need in the now normal?
For me, I think first you need to really understand your line of business and also the challenges that you're facing. Once you know what you need to provide and what you need to address, then you can identify the tools that you need for your business. And of course, you do not want to invest in something that in the end you regret having or will be needing eventually. So we still have to look for the main reason or identify the problems or challenges that your business needs. And then, like now, as we work from anywhere, like we usually do nowadays, so especially from our friends from the video industry, we need collaboration and productivity tools for hybrid work, and also for this current work setup where it needs to be really secured as cyber threats have also rapidly increased. We need cybersecurity solutions to protect our businesses from cyber attacks. And lastly, I think cloud technologies could also help your business innovate through cloud-based applications.
Thanks, Ryder. And I think all three of your answers tied in very nicely there, I think. And for your answer, Ryder, I think it does also reflect in how Eastern provides their services, because it's not a cookie cutter, and it's not this rigid, unmovable, unchangeable package that take it or leave it, that's it. I think we've been seeing through the episodes how it has to be tailored, it has to be relevant to your individual business needs, and so that's what we're here for. Okay, everyone, thank you for answering our general question. Ray, I'm going to bring it back around to you for your more individual question, and let's
Sure.
get to it right here. Hold on, let me bring that up here. All right, this one here says, like other industries, IT BPOs had to accelerate their digital transformation. What changes, other than adopting alternative work arrangements, did your members have to go through? And what other adjustments do you think they will need to adopt in order to bounce back stronger in the now normal?
Wow, that's a very good question, no? Because if I look at the past 12 to 15 months, number one up there has been really our ability to really transition into this hybrid setup. And that really resonates to me as the number one success factor, that brought us to where we are right now. I think the other thing, and again, not a lot of people are aware of this. We are, at least as I speak, experiencing a surge in demand. Um, in fact, a lot higher than we initially anticipated. And some of our organizations are having recalibrated their own growth trajectories as a result. And there are a few things that contribute to that, and I won't get into the specifics. But in this time and age where we are doing a lot of things virtually and looking into the talent dimension of the conversation becoming very key, two things there. No, we need to have the right tools, right processes that allows us to take in the best talent that we can get in a very virtual world. Okay? We're used to assessing individuals face to face in person. I mean, even for IBPAP, we have a very small organization, but two of the very senior executives that I hired virtually and without having to meet them until several months later in person. And there are tools that allow you to do that. Now, for companies that in fact are hiring in the thousands per month, you could just imagine the transformation that they need to have in terms of tools that they use to bring in talent. So you're looking at, being able to adjust from a sourcing capability standpoint and also utilizing some form of AI into the equation so that you're able to sift through tremendous amount of data on your employee or your future candidates. I mean, we take that for granted, the hiring process, but doing that at scale in a virtual world is something really amazing. And the kudos to many companies who have successfully made that transition, especially now that we are seeing a surge in demand. So the other thing, obviously, is how do you continue or sustain your upskilling initiatives? Again, I think we are gone beyond accepting the fact that the tools and the technologies that we need to be adept with are going to change rapidly over time. And we do need to have individuals and employees who, as I mentioned a while ago, very agile, but you need to also put the infrastructure that will allow them to, have that learning in a controlled fashion and one that you can monitor and you can track. So a very efficient cloud-based LMS, I think, is another important item. Again, just focusing on the talent dimension of things, and there are many other aspects of the equation that we need to account for. But that's it for now.
Thanks, Ray. And I kind my what I drew from that, I think, is that it really is a perpetual balancing game. Wouldn't you say that it's not just about acquiring all of the best technology, not just acquiring all of the best hardware, but it's also about making sure that you're taking care of your talent, and that I think it might have been in Malu's presentation wherein we said, if you lose that exceptional talent now, it will be very difficult to replace in these times. And so making sure that you have that good balancing act, I think, is very, very crucial in these times. But shifting over from the tools to from talent to tools, I think I've got this next question from Malu, and it's about M365. Now, this one here says, we are currently using M365 in our company in terms of security. Can you give a brief description on how secure M365 is? Other than the points you already mentioned, how else can IT BPOs innovate in order to make sure that they are well equipped to handle the demands of the now normal, grow their business, and remain relevant?
Wow, that's a good question. And actually, I kind of expected a lot of questions emanating from security aspects of the M365 because of the work from home frenzy. But first of all, Sir Ray, thanks so much for your soft flex regarding cloud and its adoption. Thank you so much for allowing IBPAP members to actually look into cloud as the next phase of their transformation. Well, just to answer your question, Microsoft 365, along with the rest of the other Microsoft cloud services, leverages on expertise in building secure enterprise solutions and trillions of signals made possible by the Microsoft Security Graph. So imagine if you manage your own infrastructure on productivity and collaboration. For example, they are on-premise. So imagine if an attack occurred, and if you will surely need the power of a 24/7 security team to be able to detect, mitigate, and respond at the soonest possible time. So you would have to be able to trace activities across devices, identities, apps, data, and networks. So using Microsoft 365 means giving that responsibility to us. With all its trillions and trillions of signals and to Sir Ray's point, the power of artificial intelligence over the Microsoft cloud, we can be able to actually respond much faster, and we should be able to make it more efficient for you while you actually focus on your core business.
All right, thanks for
Yeah.
that, Malu. I think it really is a as I keep saying this over and over, but it's just everything is just gelling so well in terms of everyone's answers. But it really is. I'm saying it again, but it really is a perpetual balancing act to make sure that your talent is well equipped as well. And you did mention security, and that's also been a common topic here on E-Huddle, wherein we did bring our offices into our homes, and we need to protect the data,
Yeah.
protect the information, our clients' information. And so very important key thing to always have in account. Now, I'm gonna take this over to Ryder here. Now, my question for you, Ryder, is you mentioned that Eastern Communications is constantly innovating to address the pain points of its customers in the industries that it serves. Can you give us examples of your current and upcoming services that would help your customers innovate and transform?
Well, I touched on the cloud solutions a bit earlier, and we are offering the Eastern Cloud in the market. So this comes from the need of security, reduced costs, hyperscalability, and simplified management of businesses in today's landscape. Also, we have the collaboration and productivity tools, courtesy of our partners from Microsoft, it's Malu, that will enable individuals to be an effective and efficient remote worker. And as you work from home, feel secured also with our Eastern Network Gateway. Eastern Communication is continuously developing variety of products and services that will help address the varied connectivity needs of businesses and help them achieve their business goals. So we'll definitely share with everyone as soon as we launch our new products in the upcoming months.
Excited to hear more about that, Ryder. Thank you. And I'm sure we have our Ka-Easterns who are on standby in the comment box or at any time, reachable after this program to help you better customize and better put together your digital transformation needs. So thank you so much for that, Ryder. Okay, Sir Ray, let's toss another one your way, shall we? This one is you were talking a lot about how tightly linked the pandemic solutions are to how our businesses are going to move forward. I think you covered quite a lot of that in your presentation. And so this comment says, in terms of competition in the BPO industry, what do you foresee on the impact of the seeming delayed vaccination program in the Philippines in reaching herd immunity versus other BPO countries that would be in the new normal or recovery stage way sooner than the Philippines? What effect do you foresee of the seemingly delayed vaccination program in the Philippines?
Yeah. Whenever I get questions that are binary in nature, I try to open it up so that we can have a bigger perspective in this conversation. I think it's important that we start by contextualizing the fact that there has been a year of learning we have acquired
Absolutely.
over the course of just managing the crisis, stabilizing our operation, embracing the new normal, and gearing up for growth. And I would say that learning over the past year has served us really well, in the sense that even when ECQ and MECQ was raised in the NCR bubble, you might not have noticed it, which is great, but there was hardly an impact to the IT BPO industry because of how we have adjusted quite well. I think we have not necessarily perfected, but we have really matured in terms of putting up the structure and infrastructure to ensure that even those that are going to the physical offices are, adhering to the minimum health standards, and companies are enforcing the required protocols so that we can ensure the safety of our employees. And the tools are already there, as I have mentioned, that allows us to do deliveries at scale using work from
Yeah.
home. So by limiting mobility, we're able to really manage this relatively better than compared to last year when we were
Mm.
trying to work. Now, admittedly, there are challenges in terms of, the vaccine delivery brought about by a number of factors, and I don't think this is the forum for us to go through that. But I rest in the fact that, again, number one, I think we are able to deal with the ambiguity much better now. Number two, in the recent conversations that we're having with Secretary Galvez, Secretary Vincent, because they are truly partners of ours in many of these initiatives, the vaccine is coming. Okay. And
Mm.
we are anticipating volumes of those to pick up this month of May and more in June, and increasingly as we move to Q3 and Q4, we will have a deluge of volume. That the next challenge that we need to really overcome is the vaccine administration part and how to effectively do that, given that this is not something that we have done in the past and something that we all need to learn. But again, I rest in the fact that there is true partnership here between private entities, government, LGUs, and even the health sectors. We're working side by side, working with each other. We're working with different LGUs. And the other thing there is that specific to the BPO industry, I personally am very happy that we had been accorded the A4 prioritization. It hasn't been an easy conversation. But the fact that we had been accorded that and we're just waiting for the formal IAT resolution means that many of our employees will be able to avail of the vaccine sooner rather than later. And even without that, before all of this conversation happened, we are an industry that try to take control of our destiny. And that's why many of our organizations have already partnered via multiple tripartite arrangements so that we can procure vaccine and pay for it for our employees, in certain cases even for their dependents. Now, we may face a good problem because some of our employees may avail of the vaccine ahead of time because the one provided by the national government and LGU is coming sooner. So later on, there may be an oversupply in terms of the purchases that we have acquired in advance. That's a good problem to have. We can utilize those to inoculate, our dependents, and even donate those back to the government if the need arises. So I think the focus should be more in terms of not necessarily a binary discussion on A or B, but you look at it holistically, and I think we are better positioned. And while this is a global pandemic and other supply locations are likewise suffering, and in fact some are suffering a lot worse. And again, we don't need to mention who they are. But if I look at the situation that we have here in the Philippines, it's not perfect, but we are better off from a year ago, and we're learning. And I think I'm quite optimistic that we can hurdle this in the next few months.
Thanks for that, Ray. And even in your presentation, you did say that your business outlook for the Philippines is optimistic, and as you say now that we are constantly learning, and the way that we've been adapting, I feel, has really been exponential. Even the way that we're quicker on our toes this year, we're adapting more quickly, we're embracing the technology, and really compared to where we were a year ago, I think it's really been great strides that we've taken to this point. So thank you for those insights, Ray. All right, Malu, I've got one more question for you before we all say our short parting messages. So let me get to that now. Um, your last question, Malu, is our situation now lets us work effectively anywhere, and M365 is a great tool for collaboration. Can you share how other features of M365 like SharePoint and OneDrive work alongside MS Teams?
Wow, actually, that's a good question, and I wanted to answer that. I wish I could see a show of hands from the audience as to who from the audience has not been able to actually experience MS Teams, well, you're missing a lot. You're missing about 80% of your life. But, MS Teams has actually allowed us to cope and thrive in the midst of this pandemic. It is a work platform, but it is also a sanity social, admit it or not. So basically, I would not take you to the more technical aspect about how MS Teams, OneDrive, and SharePoint are actually functioning all together. Let me just take my day-to-day experience. Of course, whenever that there is a need for us to collaborate, it actually brings the team together through MS Teams, through virtual meetings and video meetings, and it also has a lot to do with file sharing and task management, as well as apps and workflows. But after a great meeting comes the daunting task of executing and fulfilling your deliverables. So what I love about OneDrive in my personal experience is that it actually allows me to store my files and access them from across my devices and share those files in Teams. And of course, there is that functionality where you get to review, you get to comment on a particular file, where you can easily say goodbye to that save as file, or let's face it, there were days where we had like version 1 to 71 type of file. So we can all say goodbye to that. And of course, and of course, updating that in order for everyone to get a consumption of that is by default and edited ready once you share it with SharePoint. So I guess overall, what really has made this pandemic imaginable to the most unimaginable terms is really collaboration tools such as MS Teams, because we are able to actually make it work for us, not only across teams or across our work colleagues, but it also binds together the nation. I mean, imagine a world without Teams, right? Imagine a world where physical opportunities to actually meet and work together is almost impossible. So I think to Sir Ray's point, I also was hired through the virtual workspace. So Teams is just really one way of excelling in everything that's virtual, at least in the now normal.
Thanks for that, Malu. And I think it really shows how advantageous it really is to kind of have all of your collaboration tools kind of in one basket, as opposed to, I think, in the excitement of how when everything was new in 2020 and like, oh, I'm gonna get this service and that service and this service. Oops, there goes my pen. I'm gonna you pick and choose all these different services, and then suddenly you reach compatibility issues. You can't you have to do the save as version 1 to 17, as you say. And so I think the fact that M365 is an all-in-one, and from MS Teams to SharePoint to OneDrive is kind of very fluid, I think, which is a great convenience for many. All right, Malu, thank you so much for that. Ryder, I am going to let you lead our parting messages. We've got a little bit more time for some short parting messages. So let's go the opposite direction. So I'm going to start with you, Ryder, and then Malu will have your short closing message, and then we'll go with Ray's closing message. Okay. So Ryder, could we start with you as we begin to say goodbye here?
Yeah. Thank you, Carla. Thank you also to everyone who joined us this afternoon. We hope you were able to share useful insights that will help you better adjust to the now normal. Thank you also to Sir Ray and Ms. Malu. It is an honor for me to share the stage with two of the best from the BPO industry. Insights and innovation is the key to surviving and thriving as we take the leap and take the lead onwards. This turn is here to partner with you, so please reach out to us and start having that conversation. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, Ryder. Much appreciated always, to hear from our Ka-Easterns. Malu, a short closing message from you?
Thank you so much, Carla. And again, it's an honor to share the virtual stage with you, Ryder, and of course, Sir Ray. I think in my parting message, I would like to make a very soft flex about everything that's going to go on a digital transformation. Well, while every company is really in the midst of that, I think what really is a fundamental factor is really the human resource capital. So I'd urge each and every one of our colleagues here from the BPO industry to take the time to rethink your spans of control within your capabilities as well. That said, I would like everyone to be encouraged to upskill themselves, to reskill themselves, and learn new things. I think if Sir Ray would allow me about our partnership with IBPAP School, where Microsoft has really partnered on upskilling programs for our dear BPO colleagues. I think if our dear BPO colleagues could take the time to invest in themselves in order for them to ride the next momentum, to recalibrate towards the future of work and to reset to the new normal, and to be able to avail of these programs that are being offered by IBPAP School, then I think we should all be ready to the outrageous future that's waiting for all of us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, and the future is in our hands. So thank you, Malu. Always so great to hear from Microsoft Philippines here on E-Huddle. So thank you for taking the time to be with us and for your presentation, of course. And we hope to see you soon. All right, Ray, short closing message from you to wrap us up here.
Thank you, Carla, and thank you, Ryder. Thank you again, Eastern, for this opportunity to be able to address you. Thank you also, Malu, for this opportunity to share the stage with you. Microsoft is such a great partner, and we really look forward to more collaboration. Now, specific to the industry, I think, as I have just mentioned a while ago, we are not yet out of the woods, but we have also gained a lot of learnings, and we do have quite a lot of heavy lifting ahead of us, but we are clear on what we need to do. And with the collective assistance that we are getting from the broader ecosystem, I am confident that we will, see this industry grow further in the horizon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for the optimistic outlook, those encouraging words, and of course for your presentation today. And we look forward to maybe seeing more of IBPAP here on E-Huddle. So maybe in the future, in our next run, we would love to explore that. All right, our three speakers, thank you so much. So great to share the screen with the three of you. And as we've been saying in previous episodes, maybe next time we see each other, it'll be E-Huddle without the E. So take care, you three. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Okay,
Carla.
everybody. Thank you. Bye, you three. Okay, everybody, we are nearing the end of today's program, but don't think I've forgotten about that final E-Raffle prize. But before that, we'd like to ask a big favor of you before you say goodbye, and that is that you fill in our post-event feedback form. We're going to be flashing that QR code here on the screen now, but we would love to hear your feedback. What did you like about E-Huddle? What would you like to see next? And maybe even suggest what other speakers you'd like to hear from, or anything under the sun about today's program. And just scan that QR code. Everybody knows how it's done by now, so please do scan that and let us know your thoughts. Okay, again, thank you so much to our three speakers, Mr. Ray Untal, Ms. Malu Talosig, and Mr. Ryder James Mariano. Great insights there. Now, before we say goodbye, let me remind you how our final raffle prize giveaway is going to work. If you are the winner of our electronic raffle, your name is going to be flashed on the screen. And if it is, what do you have to do? You have to take a screenshot and follow the instructions you see here on your screen. You got to send it to us at marketing@etpi.com.ph with the subject line you see there and all of the info you see in that blue box there. And got to make sure that you reach out and send us that screenshot, okay? It's really as simple as that. And so without further ado, I think it is time to find out who the winner is of that lovely major prize, which is the JBL hybrid wired over-ear headset with flip-up mic. I'm not going to hold the suspense any longer. Let's find out who our lucky winner is. Okay, Miriam Amar, congratulations to you. You are our major prize winner of the day. Miriam, like I said, you got to take that screenshot right now. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to do that. Congratulations to you. You're getting those really cool looking JBL wired over-ear headset with flip-up mic. Okay, congratulations to you, Miriam, and congratulations to all of our electronic prize winners. Make sure you keep your communication lines open so that we can coordinate with you on claiming of your prizes. Now, I can't stress this enough, folks, because we really would love to hear from you moving forward. So we're going to flash that QR code one more time so you can have another chance to scan it and let us know your thoughts about E-Huddle. Let us know how we did. Let us know what you liked. And your feedback really does mean the world to us. So we hope you can take a moment later on after the program to fill that out. Okay, to wrap things up, let's hear from Eastern Communications Head of Sales. Let's welcome on screen now Mr. Michael Castañeda.
Thank you, Carla. We would like to thank everyone for attending the E-Huddle series. We hope you're able to pick up useful insights that you can take back to your respective businesses. Always remember that Eastern Communications is here to support you. Special thanks to our keynote speaker, Mr. Ray Untal, our partner, Microsoft, and of course, my colleagues in Eastern, our cluster head, Ms. Lenny Panado, and Enterprise Segment Manager, Mr. Ryder Mariano. Your generosity in sharing your knowledge is highly appreciated. Eastern Communications wants you and your business to always stay safe and healthy, even beyond these challenging times. Having said that, I hope you will continue to trust us, consider what we offer, and make our partnership stronger. We are your partner in rebuilding and strategizing your business in the new normal. Please watch out for the next webinars. And for your business and operational needs, you can always reach out to our account managers. It's pandemic time, guys. It's absolutely therapeutic to have a good conversation. We're just right here and ready to serve you. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Mr. Mike Castañeda there with a warm closing message for all of us. So again, thank you to all of you as well for tuning in. And I'm going to do something one more time here. We'd like to flash that QR code one last time before we say goodbye. Like I said, we can't stress enough how important it is for us to hear from you and how much your feedback means to us. So if you haven't yet, please take a moment to scan that QR code you see on your screen, and we would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, everybody, that is just about the end of today's Inspire Fearless Transformation webinar, as well as this whole series for that theme in particular. And so we hope that the past weeks and even today, you have learned more, you have learned some great insights, you've got great stuff to take home and to apply to your own professional lives. And we really hope that you've got some great information to help elevate your professional journey and your business, of course. So make sure you stay tuned and stay in touch by following Eastern Communications on social media channels. And we will have more for you soon in the future. So make sure that you stay tuned, okay? We hope you all had a great time. And until the next bunch of webinars we've got for you, this is Carla Barreto signing off. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, and we'll see you then. Bye.
business knows that true success comes from strong connections built and established over time. Whether it's a connection between you and your business partners or your company and your consumers. At Eastern Communications, we believe in a strong and personal connection. In prioritizing both our high-tech and our high-touch solutions, we bring back the human connection in the ever-expanding industry of information and communications technology. In doing so, we've amassed a wide array of various solutions designed to not only improve our clients' businesses, but to also create seamless experiences for their own customers. This is why customized solutions and strong connections matter so much to us. Keep your company files safe and secure through data centers and cloud services that allow easy access for your employees and are scalable to match the needs of your business. We understand just how important proper collaboration and communication are to the success of a business, which is why we can offer your company the proper tools needed to enhance collaboration efficiency, all while maintaining an agile and flexible network that is scalable to the size of your company. These collaboration tools are key to developing your business's continuity and are easily accessible at any time and from any device, all while maintaining the security your company needs. Speaking of security, no matter what stage of a cyber attack you are in, Eastern Communications will always ensure that your company is prepared with the help of the Cyber Defense Suite. From before the attack happens, during the time it's in progress, and even after it begins to damage systems and steal information, Eastern Communications is equipped with products and services for every phase. Eastern also provides relevant managed services that suit your company's needs. That way, you can better focus on running your business and leave the technical aspect up to us. Of course, every business needs reliable connectivity in order to maintain its day-to-day processes. Our world-class data services ensure the smoothest flow of data and information for your company. Together, we can help you create personalized networks that are well-suited for your company's specific needs, containing all of the benefits with none of the hassle. If it's internet you need, Eastern Communications Internet Services can provide your company with fast connections and high bandwidth availabilities. This way, you have access to flexible speeds and stronger connections to the internet. Lastly, we want to help you establish your own strong connections with your company's partners and customers. Eastern's voice services offers seamless solutions for your customer service needs and easily connects you to your customers. These are only some of the many solutions and services that Eastern Communications has established over the years for our many partners. And while we still have a long way to go, you can be sure that Eastern Communications will continue to be your partner and take you from where you are now to where you want to go. Together, we can all finish strong for our tomorrow. These days, a lot of companies are changing their business model and shifting to digital in order to keep up with the new normal. With this shift comes a new dynamic threat landscape that some companies aren't equipped to handle. Companies need a strong defense system in place in order to keep confidential files and data safe. The proper defense against these threats requires control across all phases of a cyber attack. From before the attack happens, during the time it's in progress, and even after it begins to damage systems and steal information. This is why Eastern Communications has ideal high-tech and high-touch products designed for every stage of the attack continuum, ensuring that your company has only the best in cybersecurity. Before an attack even takes place, your company needs products that discover cyber threats, enforce a strong defense system, and harden that protection so that the threats don't break through. First, Secure a next-generation firewall. This will filter network traffic to protect an organization from external threats. They also possess deeper inspection capabilities that give them a superior ability to identify attacks, malware, and other threats. Eastern's next-gen firewall continually evolves. Not only does it block malware, but it also includes paths for future updates, ensuring it is flexible enough to evolve with the landscape and keep the network secure as new threats arise. It is also equipped with a virtual private network, so that your employees can securely send and receive data in the company network. Now let's take a look at the solutions that can come into play during the time a cyber attack is in progress. Distributed denial of service is a specific type of cyber attack that disrupts normal traffic to targeted critical business applications and services, leading to angry customers and potential brand damage. Eastern's DDoS protection is capable of mitigating any type of attack on any website and is fully managed by a responsive, round-the-clock operations team, ensuring every real web visitor is never denied service. Another product is a web application firewall, which can help defend your company from malicious web traffic. Unlike regular firewalls, a WAF filters the content of specific web applications to catch harmful web traffic that other security measures might miss. Lastly, we have endpoint security solutions. During a cyber attack, these protect end-user devices such as company laptops, desktops, and mobile devices from being exploited by malware or other kinds of cybersecurity threats. Finally, to ensure maximum protection, let's look into the solutions your company needs after a cyber attack has begun damaging your network or stealing your information. First, you will require a managed security operations center, which provides 24/7 security monitoring as well as access to a shared team of fully trained cybersecurity professionals. To round off your company's impenetrable defenses, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing are crucial. These are security testing services your company can benefit from after a cyber attack. These testing systems focus on identifying vulnerabilities in your company's server and network infrastructure. Afterwards, it gives your organization a detailed view of potential threats, enabling your company to adapt and better prepare your defenses for future attacks. As your company makes the transition to more and more digital services and protocols, take that extra measure to protect your organization from outside threats. It's important to keep your company's network and data secure through every phase of a cyber attack. In the new normal of business in the digital landscape, let Eastern Communications provide your company with the cybersecurity it needs to stay safe and have a strong tomorrow. Emergency situations and global crises has had a profound influence on how people live and work, with many employers adapting remote work arrangements. Aside from a stable internet connection and the right productivity tools, companies and employees must ensure that their devices and data can be securely accessed, as if they were still in the office. Which is why Eastern Communications presents the Eastern Teleworker Gateway. Eastern Teleworker Gateway is an enterprise-class firewall, virtual private network gateway, and router. Each model is designed to securely extend cloud-managed networking for employees, IT staff, and executives working remotely. It allows administrators to deploy network services including voice-over internet protocol and remote endpoints with automatic zero-touch provisioning. Additionally, it provides wired and wireless access and increases end-user productivity, creating a secure and worry-free internet connection for your employees. Eastern Teleworker Gateway makes it easy to extend your company's corporate local area network to remote sites across the country, without requiring your employees and devices to install VPN software. Eastern Teleworker Gateway also enables traffic shaping, allowing you to regulate network data transfer, ensuring important applications and traffic are prioritized. So what does this mean for your employees and staff who are working remotely? It's easy to set up. Creating a new remote site is as simple as adding a remote network in your company's user dashboard. Once you've keyed in the access points and SSIDs of your employees, everyone automatically has access to your company's secure network. Eastern Teleworker Gateway also provides secure access to your company's main network from anywhere, with remote access points automatically establishing a secure connection to the company head office. This allows effective forklifting of your office to your employees' homes. It lets your company stay connected with voice and data by granting administrators the capability to monitor and manage the entire remote office infrastructure through a private company telephone network. Finally, with centralized management, problems can be diagnosed remotely using built-in real-time diagnostic tools. Even small-scale IT staff can be empowered to manage large distributed networks via the internet from anywhere. Eastern Teleworker Gateway is the ideal solution for teleworkers based at home, small branch offices, temporary sites like events and conferences, and your employees in the field. This ensures that your employees and executives have the same in-office network experience while working remotely. This is just one of many solutions that Eastern Communications can provide your company in order to maintain your strong connection, not just for your customers, but for your employees as well. With Eastern Teleworker Gateway, we can help your company move towards our strong tomorrow.